All right, so welcome everyone to the Satellite Fund info session. This is a $6,000 opportunity for 10 Cuyahoga County artists, curators, and our cultural producers to create a public visual art project in Cuyahoga County. This grant is not only for established visual artists in the community, but also for emerging artists, creative professionals, and any Cuyahoga County resident with a strong vision and demonstrated ability to complete the proposed project. The scope is purposefully broad. We want this opportunity to be as accessible and far-reaching as possible to ensure we represent Cuyahoga County to the fullest. This is in partnership with the Andy Warhol Foundation. We want to start with our land acknowledgement. Spaces recognizes the land upon which our building resides as the ancestral homeland of the Haudenosaunee and other Great Lakes tribes. We further acknowledge the thousands of indigenous people who now call this region home as a result of forced migration, dispossession of ancestral homelands and territories, or other reasons. We affirm their right as past, present, and future caretakers of this land. We make this statement recognizing that intentionally or not, we have participated in ongoing settler colonialism, a term that is generally recognized to mean the removal, erasure, and supplantation of indigenous peoples. We commit to beginning the process of working to dismantle the ongoing legacies of settler colonialism. Before we get started through the presentation, my name is Sierra Rembert. I am your Artist Initiatives Coordinator. Any questions you have throughout the session, feel free to drop it in our Q&A section or the chat. And then we'll have a section at the end of the presentation where I'll address all the questions asked. And then if awarded, I'll also be the person that you'll be in contact with throughout the whole process. So who is eligible to apply? You are eligible if you are 18 plus years of age, you are at any stage of your career engaging experimental practices with strong conceptual foundations, you are an artist, curator, or any other kind of cultural producer living in Cuyahoga County, you have a project based in the visual arts. You are not eligible if you are an artist who has a confirmed exhibition scheduled at Spaces in the future. You are a Spaces staff and or relative, Spaces board member and or relative. You are currently a Spaces contractor and a relative. You are enrolled in an undergraduate or graduate degree program during your program year. You are a recipient of the Satellite Fund in 2021, or you are a recipient of the Urgent Art Fund this year. Benefits of applying to the Satellite Fund. The grant award is $6,000. We'll be giving out grants of $6,000 to 10 artists or artist collectives. You'll receive an artist level membership. We just got our new membership upgrade this year. It'll be for sessions that Spaces will have here throughout this year, next year, and ongoing. The Arts Pass, which is a cross-organization artist level membership with Zygote and Praxis, access to Spaces workshops and tools, introductions to artists, curators, collectors, and community members. Okay, so during the review process, jurors will review submissions based upon this following criteria. There are 4 for their instructions, and it'll be on a rating scale. There will be somewhere where they can offer additional feedback. If at any point you would like to hear what that additional feedback is, you could just reach out to me by email, and we can send that over to you. So the first category they review is feasibility. Well thought out project encompassing the full scope of the project proposed. Work samples and sketches support the ability for the project to be successful, and the artist's past experience reinforce their ability to follow through with the project. Relevancy is our next category. The project fosters an exchange of ideas and perspectives within the audience and is aligned with the purpose of the Satellite Fund and represents new forms of art and or exhibition making and or art viewing, and the application shows that this project has local and or global resonance. Quality, the conceptual relevance is supported by a robust artistic project. The intended proposal will function in the manner described, and the project is backed by artistic rigor and ability. Accessibility, The project is open to the public, including display of the project and conventional art viewing spaces like artist studios, homes, as long as there are open hours posted, sites for public artworks, businesses, cafes or restaurants, and commercial or nonprofit galleries. Unconventional sites may include abandoned storefronts, city infrastructure, bus shelters, streets, open spaces, signage, which could include billboards, building or construction fences with permissions and permitting granted. Proposed sites must be accessible to all members of the public, including ADA accessibility. So how to apply? You can apply via Submittable. What you'll do is sign into an existing Submittable account or create a new account. If you just do a general search for Submittable, should be the first thing that comes in your Google page. And then you're going to submit the following material. So your project title. This project title is what we'll use if awarded. If at any point it changes, then you'd reach out to me. The artist or curator statement, a project description, a venue or virtual platform. Venues must be in Cuyahoga County. A timeline. The template is provided at the Satellite Fund website. It is under the toolkit drop down in the right corner. And then there's also a budget, which is also in that toolkit. So in that first page, after you go to toolkit, it'll be in that first section to the left of that page. It'll say like timeline, and then it'll say budget and timeline templates with all of the timing for how the process will go. Artist, resume, or CV, you can submit either or. Work samples and descriptions. We ask for, you can submit up to 15. I'd recommend submitting at least 5, but the more the better. So this is a view of the Satellite Fund website. That is the apply button. You'll see a list of if we have additional opportunities going on as well, it'll be in there. And then you'll also see the submittable, that'll be in there as well. And then that toolkit is to the left of that apply button. That's where you'll find all your templates and the timeline for how everything will roll out to the end of the process. So the public venue and platform. So projects must be displayed in Cuyahoga County and or through a virtual platform, but cannot be displayed at spaces or using spaces virtual platforms. If you need any additional help, even during the application process, you can feel free to reach out to me. I could definitely recommend some places. You do not have to have a confirmed venue or platform, but you want to give the jurors a sense of where you plan on exhibiting the public display so everyone has access. So the awarding process and timeline. Application open on April 29th. The application will close this Friday at 11:59 p.m. A 5-person application review panel. Our jurors this year are Naomi Columna, Felicia Wood, Darnell Jamal Lisby, Meg Macko, and Claire Boone. You'll be able to read more about them on the Satellite Fund website. And if you sign up for our newsletter, we'll also be announcing them there as well. You can read up on their bios and what they do. Awardees will then be selected and all artists will be notified on July 29th. So what is a visual project? So this is a visual representation of some of our past awardees in 2019 and 2021. Lori Keller, for example, had an exhibition documenting her photography and her practice. Jacob Kessler, he did a book release as well as an exhibition. Carl Chris and Carolyn Green, for example, they did a film. So this is a still from that film. And then Jasmine A. Gulfin, she did a VR experience. So this can take form in any way, as long as it's public, as long as it's visual. So a public presentation of or public access to a painting, design, photography, film, media, new media, video, sculpture, print, performance, sound and music, as long as there is a visual component. So that could take form in like a recording or virtual live experience, for example. Architecture, craft, publication. If you have any questions about anything you're unsure of, if your practice falls under visual project, you can always reach out to me via email. All right, and now we're at the question stage. So I'm gonna open up our chat and our Q&A. And thank you, Layla, for your help in getting all of this together. Yeah, so I'm not able to see anyone, but I am able to see questions and any comments made in the chat or the Q&A sections. Okay, so we've got one question so far. If awarded, when must projects be completed? So for this year, projects must be completed by July 31st of 2023. And that is in time for the final report. So once your public display is completed before that deadline, the sooner the better. But if it's closed, that's fine. Yeah, July 31st is that set date. And then after you have your public component, there will be like a final report that would have to be turned in 30 calendar days after that. Should the budget be the total budget for the project, even if it is over 6,000? You don't have to keep it under 6,000. If your budget does go over 6,000, spaces and jurors are gonna wanna know like how you plan on getting those additional funds. If you plan to seek out additional funding in addition to our 6,000 grant that will be given by spaces, you could certainly do that. You would just have to make sure you're putting it in the line item that asks if it's confirmed or anticipated amount of money. If it's like an out-of-pocket cost, you could mention that in the line item as well. But they will be looking to see how you plan on getting that additional funding. But the total has to be at least 6,000 because we want to see how you plan on using the full grant award. Definitely recommend including like a artist commission. And there's definitely a paragraph in that budget template that'll give you ideas of how to plan out your budget, being like transportation costs, material costs, artist commissions, any contractor fees, marketing, stuff like that. But yeah, if you want to get additional funding, as long as you let us know like how you plan to use the funds and additional funding, whether confirmed or anticipated, definitely make sure to mention that in the budget. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, and to go off how can funds be used? Yeah, like I said, the transportation, artist commission, materials, marketing. If there's anything that you're unsure of that can be in the budget, you can definitely let me know. I will also drop, let me see if I can drop my email here. If you want to reach out. Yeah, there we go. But one thing I will mention as far as the budget, as far as what can't be entered into budget is the cost of reception. So food and beverage, that would be a out-of-pocket cost. What kind of promotion does Spaces do for the projects? When will it start? So promotion happens, so after the notifying process, I'll reach out to set a meeting time, preferably in person with the artist and the artist collective. We'll go over artist agreement between artists and Spaces. And then as far as the promotion from there, when I get all of the materials, that's when we'll start promoting. So the platforms we use for promoting, we'll do like an initial PR letter that'll have all the artists announcing them. We'll send it to people we know around, network with, partners. We'll send a mass email out to them. We'll also share it on our social media, which is Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We'll also use our newsletter, which we send out through MailChimp. If anything is like we're tagged in, like on social media, for example, we'll also put it on that. And then there's a couple other platforms that I use internally to put it on, such as Cuyahoga Arts and Culture. Can the projects involve hands-on work and participation by community members in creation of the art? Or is the grant intended for work created by one artist? No, definitely. It can be a hands-on experience. We definitely encourage community engagement. Definitely a big plus. Can't work against you. But yeah, it can definitely be an all hands on deck community type of project, and we definitely encourage it. Yeah, no problem. I'll give us a couple more minutes just in case there's any additional questions. Certainly don't want to rush anyone. And again, if you have any questions, even outside of the session that we might not have addressed, definitely feel free to reach out to me. Can multiple artists receive the grant separately but choose to collaborate? Artists can definitely apply individually if they would like. And if you want to collaborate, you can as well. Jurors will look at how that plays out though. So let's say like you apply as an individual for a project, and then you have an artist friend of yours that also applies, but it's for a different project. As long as it's a different project, it can be considered. But if it's like a same or similar project that you all are like putting into one pot, then we wouldn't be able to award it that way. But say you're like a contractor for another artist that put you in the application to help them out with their project, that's definitely doable. All right. Oh, one more question. Can contractors from outside Cuyahoga be hired with the funds? Yes, they can be, as long as you are the lead artist or the lead artist does reside in Cuyahoga County. If you have someone you want to collaborate or you want to be a collective contractor, either way, they're definitely welcome to help you and can be paid with the grant funding. It's just the applicant themselves has to be residing in Cuyahoga County. Is there a particular theme to the project? Nope. Whatever you want to do, whatever you want to propose. There's nothing specific that you need to speak on through your project. It's whatever you like, wherever your creative practice takes you. Yeah, so we're gonna wrap up here, but if anybody has any further questions, I did drop my email in the chat. I can drop it again. Feel free to reach out at any time, and I will definitely get back to you for whatever questions you may have. Thank you all for joining and apply.